Hello and welcome to another edition of Coppell Blue. I'm your host, Officer Peter Dirks, and thank you for watching our first episode of 2014. Today on the show, we'll be hearing some traffic safety tips in this winter weather. We'll be checking in with our detective forum about current trends in identity theft. We'll go to one of our elementary schools and learn about a program they have there. And we'll be hearing about a new program our police department's launching. But first, we'll check in with Officer Jackson on those safety tips.
With the recent ice storms, we definitely want to remind everybody to drive safely. Some of the key factors to remember are to slow down, leave plenty of room in between you and the vehicles in front of you. Make sure you don't slam on your brakes, ease into your brakes, avoid passing sand trucks or snow plows. You definitely want to stay as far away as possible from other vehicles, because you never know when somebody may slide out or spin out in front of you or to the side of you. Some of the recent stories in the news have talked about people being stranded in their vehicles for multiple hours. It's always a good idea to keep a blanket with you, some non-perishable food, water, just stuff that can keep you safe and comfortable while emergency crews try to reach you. Some of the key factors that you want to remember as far as when you're passing an accident scene, whether it be on ice or a beautiful sunny day like today, definitely don't want to rubberneck. You don't want to be watching the accident scene. You don't want to be looking to try and figure out what happened. Look forward, hang up, don't text, don't call, just drive forward, slow down. State law does require that you do slow down 20 miles below the speed limit or vacate the lane closest to the accident scene or emergency crew. Some of the enforcement action that we take here in Coppell includes the move over law. The move over law says that you are required by law to slow down 20 miles below the speed limit or vacate the lane closest to you, and that applies to any emergency vehicle with their lights actively on. It also applies to tow trucks if they've got their lights on and they're actively engaged in towing a vehicle. And if you pass an officer directing traffic, beyond just move over law, common courtesy is to hang up your phone. You can make that call later. We give the officer plenty of room. Pay attention to what he's doing, he or she is doing, because when we're putting ourselves out there in the middle of the roadway, it's as scary for us as it might be for you. So it helps if you can move over or slow down.
When we go to a major accident, the way we set our apparatus and the way we set those cones up is for scene safety. Not only our safety, but the safety of the people that were involved in the accident. What we ask from the motorists is they just observe those cones and the lanes that we establish with those cones and ask them to slow down as they go by. The only reason we do it is to keep everybody safe. It's not to try to shut traffic down or anything, and we try as hard as possible to make sure that we keep a traffic lane open so traffic does flow. If the need arises that we need to shut the roadway down, we try to do it at an intersection so that the people have another way out, so traffic can continue to flow. If there's a large grass fire on the side of a roadway and the smoke's blowing across the roadway, one of the first things we ask them to do is to not drive into the smoke and stop in the smoke, because there will be a lot of people that continue to go on through the smoke. And when that happens, now we have a big hazard, because as those people come across the people that have stopped in the smoke, there's a good chance that they can be struck. If they feel like they can't drive through the smoke safely and see all the way through the smoke, we ask them to stop on the side of the roadway before they get to the smoke. Same way with a foggy roadway. If there's for some reason they become trapped in that smoke to where they can't see good, either pull over to the side and stop or continue very slowly, because there are still firefighters operating somewhere on that roadway. When we have a house fire in a neighborhood, just because of the size of our apparatus, most times we have to shut down the street. It's not something that we want to do, but it's necessary for safety for a couple of reasons. One is there's going to be a lot of firefighters operating in that vicinity of the fire, so we need to shut the roadway completely down to keep them safe. One of the other things is our hoses that we have to either supply from the hydrant or the hoses coming off our apparatus to fight the fire. We can't have those hoses run over. It'll actually damage the hoses, and then it's a big safety concern for us, and it could also help spread the fire because we lose our water supply or we lose our firefighting water. So we have to shut the streets down a lot of times. If they live in the neighborhood and they feel like they can't get to their house any other way, we just ask for some patience. We'll clear it up as soon as we can, and we'll open the roadway back as soon as we can. When we're coming up behind people with our lights and sirens on and we're going to a call somewhere, the one thing that we ask people to do is not stop right in front of us. Our apparatus is large, it's heavy, and it's harder to stop than most passenger vehicles. So even though we keep a big safety zone or a buffer zone in front of us, we just ask people not to just dead stop right in the lane right in front of us. We ask those people, if they would, to pull off to the right where it's safe to do so and stop and let us pass by.
Okay, in the recent past, we've had several scams where people will contact people over the telephone, and they'll tell them that there's a warrant for their arrest, and these people are saying they're from a government agency, whether it be the Justice Center, the IRS, or something that's trying to make you believe that they're really from the government and agency. What they'll tell you is that there's a warrant for your arrest, and that if you don't send them some money through Western Union or some other type of money transfer, then they're going to come arrest you, and they're very convincing in what they do. So if you get contacted by anyone, there will never be a time that the police department or any other government agency would ever ask you to transfer any money. So if this happens to you, call the police department immediately. If you want to protect yourself from ID theft, there's a lot of frequently asked questions that are on the Coppell Police Department website under fraud and ID theft. The frequently asked questions on there are something as simple as you should shred your documents, or very simple things. Goes into some other helpful links to other government agencies such as Social Security, IRS, FTC.gov, and several others that you can link to that may answer some of your questions that you may have.
We're here at Austin Elementary to learn about their program called Clusters. Clusters are a group of students that get together and they study a specific topic they are interested in. Today we'll hear from a teacher and some students that are from a cluster that's close to my heart, the COP cluster. Children on Patrol.
At Austin Elementary, we do enrichment clusters, and clusters are based on the students' interests. It consists of 3rd through 5th grade students, and they meet every Friday for 9 weeks. At the end of the 9 weeks, they have a showcase to show the whole school and the community what they learned. The students in the Cop Academy cluster are passionate about police work, and they wanted to find out why criminals are criminals. And the COP stands for Children on Patrol. And they focused on drug use and education. And our goal was to educate other students the importance of staying in school and avoiding drugs. They researched it, and I gave them articles to read. They took notes. And then we invited some police officers to come speak with us. Officer Cochran came and Officer Peter, and they were very informative. And then we put all our information together and put it in a website. We sent the website to police departments, and a few of them shared it on their Twitter page, which was very exciting because it helped them get their message out.
I studied about drug use on the internet. I looked for criminals who do drugs, and people who do drugs are more likely to commit crime. And Officer Cochran gave us an analogy: if crime is the car, then drugs are the fuel.
I researched that education and police or crime is really important, because education is really important, because if you drop out, you can become illiterate. And that means not be able to read or write, and you're more likely to end up in prison. And I found really good facts that I found, and one of them were 8 out of 10 students who drop out of school end up in prison, and 7,000 students drop out every day. And we presented this dry board in the cafeteria to every parent that came to our cluster showcase.
What a great program. I hope you check out their website and look at all their hard work. Well, Austin Elementary has their COP cluster, and our police department is starting our very own COPS program. A lot goes into launching a new program like that, and we'll learn all about it with Deputy Chief Albaugh.
Well, the COPS program, Citizens on Patrol. We're in the process of developing the selection process. the training and the policy for the Citizen Patrol so that our Citizens Police Academy alumni will have the opportunity to apply and participate in this program. Anyone who's graduated from the Citizens Police Academy and who has completed the application and background process and successfully complete the training program that we've designed for this will be eligible to participate. The expectations of this program are that the volunteer citizens who join the patrol will be eyes and ears for the department and for the community. We will have a car specially designed for them that they will drive around on their patrol. We'll have telephone and radio contact with the police department and the officers, and they will look for suspicious activities, stranded motorists, accidents, even offenses in progress. They'll be trained on how to observe those, get all the proper information and report it, keep an eye on it, but yet keeping a safe distance and maintaining their personal safety. The processes, the policies that we're going to implement on this will allow for one person to work in the car if they choose to, or there could be up to 2 people working in a car. At this point, we'll have one vehicle established for the program. As the program grows, we'll explore expanding the program. At this time, one person will be working in the patrol. Our Citizens on Patrol volunteers will be outfitted with a unique uniform just for their group. They will be issued a particular set of equipment to do what they do. They will not be armed, and in fact firearms will not be allowed, nor any other type of weapon, because we don't expect them to interact with any of the criminal element in this. Their most powerful weapon that they will carry is their skills of observation, their observations of what they see and hear, and then reporting that to us on the radio and telephone that they will have available to them. Since this is a volunteer program, it will be when the individuals are available to work. We would hope that we would have some volunteers during our busy hours where we have the most activities, which would be weekends and evenings. But we're going to accept help anytime we can get it, because criminals don't always keep a clock, but certain activities happen on certain days of the week. The vehicle that we have designed for this program is uniquely identified as a Citizen Patrol vehicle. It will not look like a police vehicle, so there will be no mistaking that, but it will definitely be recognized as a Citizen Patrol vehicle so that people know that if they needed assistance in that way, they could get it. And our volunteers will not be expected to engage in any activity that would put them in any kind of harm. They will not be stopping traffic violators or stopping any kind of criminal activity. They will be helping with stranded motorists and accidents, but they will be equipped and trained to handle those situations. We're really excited here in the police department about our Citizens on Patrol program. The communities around us that have established these programs, they are very successful. You may have seen some of your surrounding communities' citizen patrols out there. They're very helpful at accident scenes to help with traffic control. They can help with stranded motorists. Their vehicle will be equipped with enough lights and some flares and cones so that they can safely help with accident scenes. So they really do help augment the police department, and that they're a part of the community. It lends to our overall spirit of community policing and working with the community more closely.
I want to thank Officer Jackson, Austin Elementary, Deputy Chief Albaugh, and the Fire Department for being on our show. Take these tips and put them to good use. And for more safety tips, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, that's our show, and until next time, be safe.